Hi everybody. I wanted to make this video about getting your moon cycle to sync up with the actual moon cycle. So the reason that we would want our cycle to sync up to the moon is so that we're going through the same energy as the moon. So as the moon is waxing and becoming more full, we are going from starting our period on the new moon and we are moving towards ovulation. And when this is happening, the moon is growing. And so we're getting more and more of the moon energy. So this is the time where we feel the most stable, and we even want to go out and celebrate. And there's kind of a whole thing around the full moon because that's when women would ovulate. And so everyone would want to go out and party during the full moon because that is when that energy of creating something is at its highest form. And so actually the full moon is a really great time to go out and celebrate. But if the moon's full and you're actually on your period instead of ovulating, then you don't really get to enjoy the fullness of the full moon because you're not really feeling that great yourself, because you're in your own cycle, you are having that waning energy happening. And so that's one of the reasons it's nice to sync the cycles up so that you're able to really ride the moon wave with the moon. And the moon is the mind, it's our emotions. And so it's going to, if we are on the waxing moon and we're going from our period to ovulation, this is when we're kind of feeling more and more positive. And then when we're going from our ovulation back to menstruation, or from the full moon back to the new moon, we're losing the energy from the sun or from the moon. And we are going more and more in an unstable direction or a disturbed direction emotionally. And so before we lived in the civilized world where we are just so disconnected from nature, we all just naturally aligned with the moon because we were just more in tune with what was happening around us. So at night, when there's all these city lights and light pollution, it's really hard to get the moonlight into your eyes. And this is a big thing for a circadian rhythm, is that if you get the sunlight in your eyes in the morning, that's what tells the body to start doing all the things. But we aren't really getting the moonlight into our eyes anymore like we used to. So our body's not aligning with that moon rhythm. And so in order to kind of try and align with the moon, and it may be one of those things where you become aligned and then you're unaligned, and it's always kind of a thing. So my dog is playing with the cat, and I never know if the cat likes it or not. Okay, sorry. I'm just gonna keep watching that. Chop, no, that's too rough. No. Okay, sorry. This is what I get for having 3 cats and 3 dogs. But yeah, so anyway, it's gonna be a lifetime of work aligning with the moon. So these are some steps that you can take that's going to help bring you a little bit closer to aligning with the moon. And so the first thing to do is go out every night and look at the moon. A lot of us live in places with a lot of light pollution, and so we can't see the moon, or it's just not that we're getting a ton of the actual light from the moon into the eyes. But if you go out and you look at the moon and you think about it, is this a waning moon or is this a waxing moon? Obviously, it's easy to tell if it's a full moon or a new moon. But sometimes we don't know if it's a waning moon or a waxing moon. You know, we're not paying attention to the moon. We don't really think it matters, but we actually have a ton of studies that show that the full moon affects like water. We are mostly water, and there's even studies showing it affecting our like glandular systems and things like that, just like the sun affects those things as well. And so anyway, here's some things that you can do. You're following, sorry, my dog is trying to get the cat still, but he can't. Okay. Okay. Oh my gosh. So if you're following the moon around and you're just noticing it, you're just paying attention to where it's at, that alone is a really good way to start to align with the moon. Another thing that you can do is you can be more aware of your own cycle, and just being aware of where you're at in your cycle and comparing it to the moon. So like, oh, I'm at my like waxing moon part of my cycle and I'm feeling really good. And when you know you're in that space, you can kind of capitalize on knowing like I'm at a place where I'm building and I'm feeling good. And so this is a good time to like, I don't know, make a move, like ask for a raise or do something bold, you know? And then when you're in your waning moon phase, you can be aware that like this is maybe more of a time I want to be introverted and I want to go inward. And so just being aware of where you're at and thinking about it in the aspect of the moon. So just kind of bringing it all together. And then finally, women align with other women. And so actually women coming together in groups is very healing, and women actually heal each other. And when women come together, all of their moon cycles will try to sync up. And the moon cycle that is the dominant cycle that is pulling everyone to sync up with it is the woman who is most aligned with the moon. And so when you get a group of women together, whichever woman is most aligned with the moon is going to be the one that's pulling everybody else more in alignment. So the good news is that coming together with other women around the full moon, or just in general, is how we heal each other and how we can align with the moon more and more. And so those are some suggestions that I'd have. I'd love to know if your cycle is aligned with the moon. Maybe it is sometimes and it isn't. I would love to know how that goes for you, and I'll see you in the next video.